So boxing analyst Teddy Atlas comes out and basically makes some very good observations. It was just his opinion, everything is opinionated these days. Um, he had some facts to back up a lot of things he said, but overall, he was just giving some insight on Gvozdyk, a very good opponent that David Benavidez is going against. Someone that a lot of people in the game know very well about, especially guys who's been watching him over time. They feel like Dave Benavidez, not just Telly Atlas, but a lot of people feel like Dave Benavidez is taking the biggest challenge of his career right now, moving up to 75 and fighting a top contender. They know that he hasn't been the same guy over the years, but a lot of people feel like he has enough to push himself over the edge against Dave Benavidez. They feel like it's going to be a very close fight. They don't a lot of people don't agree with the situation as far as I'll just say with Dave Benavidez basically going to 75 and dominating guys and knocking them out. They feel like against Gvozdyk, that's a bit of a reach. And Teddy Atlas thinks that Gvozdyk will be able to beat Dave Benavidez. He thinks he beats Dave Benavidez. That's not a bad answer to have because Dave Benavidez is somewhat of an underdog, even though he is a guy that's never lost and he would be considered the favorite. But just from the outside looking in, Vos is a very good fighter. He's been in there with very good competition. The Bitterbeer fight was something that he worked around some things. He had some things going on around that fight that just didn't go well. It was a lot of business things going on as well, but overall, and that fight was a while ago, and Bitterbeer was definitely in top of his prime at that time. So a lot of things going on now. It looks like the boxing game is making this fight a 50-50 fight straight across the board, which it is. But it's a lot of people picking Gvozdyk for the upset. They feel like Dave Benavidez will not be able to pull out this fight. This is going to be a huge challenge for him. If he can't pull this off, it'll put him behind the 8 ball. I don't like putting pressure on guys like that because he's already challenged himself. I don't. I did the same thing with Ryan Garcia. I felt like Ryan Garcia got punished last year after losing to Tank Davis for trying to challenge himself. So I have a reputation for supporting guys after they lose because I know what the boxing game is like. If I would have did if I would have did Ryan Garcia like everybody else would have, I wouldn't have been on here promoting him to fight the best guy like Devin Haney and all these other guys to possibly go out and just cancel the fight and not really participate. But with a guy like Benavidez, he's challenging himself right now. He's one of those guys. Basically, he's like the leader of that class. Him, Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney. You could throw Teofimo. Um, that just this generation is just different. You know what I'm saying? These guys are fighting the best competition across the board. And they're having the biggest fights. If y'all have noticed recently, the biggest fights in America have included like Benavidez. I'm talking about the last 15 months. Dave Benavidez, Ryan Garcia, Tank Davis, Devin Haney. And you could throw Teofimo in on the fights that was like around the shutdown, but most of the time these fights have been big fights, including those guys. And these are younger guys. And Tim Zoo's around the same age as Tank Davis, so you can include them in a generation if you want to just say under 30. But a lot of these guys are putting in big time fights. Fandora 26, Roller Romero 28, Pitbull 25. Um, it's just a lot of things. A lot of these weight classes, these age groups, it's changing. Deron Ennis at 26. So a lot of this fight, but the fans are putting pressure on these guys. Fans are putting more pressure on these guys than anybody. They're talking to Benavidez like he's Canelo. Like, oh man, he needs to fight this guy. He's just doing this. Like, why are we trying to have him just fight all the best guys? They're trying to have him fight all the best light heavyweights. They're saying that he's almost a heavyweight. It's crazy how my favorite fighter moved up to 54 to fight Benavidez. Nobody said nothing. But as soon as he challenges himself and end up losing to Benavidez, no excuses. I didn't give no excuses about Benavidez's weight. I don't know why people running around bringing up Benavidez's weight, Devin Haney's weight, a lot of people's weight in the conversation of boxing when that's never been an issue ever in life. Never. Nobody had an issue when Canelo was weighing 60, 70 pounds against Floyd Mayweather. And a lot of that stuff on record. So it's just overall, these guys trying to challenge themselves. So I'm not finna be upset or sad that Benavidez went out there and win or lose. I'm glad he challenging himself against Gvozdyk. He's the person that deserves more credit for picking the big fights and the hard challenges cool again. Because a lot of these guys, they don't want to challenge themselves. So yeah, I'm very proud of what he's doing in the game. And I feel like he'll be able to go out there and get a victory. Teddy Atlas was a guy who was trained before with Gvozdyk, so that could be a situation where he's just picking a guy he's familiar with, allegedly. But overall, we'll see. But I definitely feel like David Benavidez will be able to pull it out, man. He's been working hard, man. Extremely hard. But that's all I got. Like and subscribe.